name's Hamilton Horn. I'm the owner and operator of King Tide Farms here in sunny Charleston, South Carolina. We're located at the Firefly Distillery in Park Circle. Behind me, you're seeing our hydroponic setup. Real estate's very expensive here in Charleston, so what we've had to do is kind of come up with new ways to grow, and that's going to be vertically. So everything we have is growing up on our walls instead of going to grow out. Traditionally, this will translate to about 2 acres of farmland, depending on kind of what you're doing and how you're growing it. Behind me, we have our flagship product. These are our mustards. What we really specialize in is growing different varieties of product, and then we're going to keep that at a smaller, more manageable size. What that's going to do is give the chefs kind of more room to kind of play with and use this to kind of bring their whole dish together and kind of have that idea become a cohesive idea on that dish. From here, we're able to grow several different items. Again, we have the mustards, we also have parsleys, we have cilantros. We like to grow varieties of products that the chefs know and love, but we're gonna find that one-off that's kind of cool they haven't seen. So for our parsley, I can reach kind of right through here and bring one out for you. This is going to be our Fern Parsley. So it's gonna have that excellent and amazing taste that everyone knows and loves, but it's gonna have that cool fern fingerling foliage to kind of give something new and different to look at. There's a lot of competition here in the Charleston area, so what we like to do is to be able to offer the chefs a little bit of difference, and so they can kind of differentiate themselves from all of these crazy places that are popping up here around in Charleston. We do operate 2 containers. The container I'm standing in, I actually purchased from a company out of Boston, Massachusetts called Freight Farms. The container next door I've built myself, and that's gonna just house our microgreens and our shoots and things like that. That's gonna be a smaller grow cycle where everything in here usually is about 5 to 6 weeks to achieve that chef's cut size, which again is gonna be a 3-inch size leaf or smaller. And then next door is gonna be the micros and the shoots, where most of our growth cycle is going to be within 21 days. Really, that 14-day mark is going to be that magic kind of time frame or that window where everything grows in the other container. Yep, so I myself am a 3rd-generation farmer, probably more than that, but that's as far back as I can go. It's more row crops with tobacco and cotton and corn and soybeans. I myself did the agricultural chemical sales right after college, so this is my penance to grow everything agriculturally insecticide, herbicide, and pesticide free with no more Roundup like I was peddling before in my prior life. From here, I'm born and raised in Charleston. I've been in sales my whole life. I wanted something for myself that I could connect with here in Charleston. Food is very important to the Charleston area and also as Southerners. My grandmother really taught me how to cook and the importance of growing your own food. So I really kind of just married 2 things together, my love and passion for food, and then my ability to sell and finding a local product that I could stand behind here in Charleston. That led me to King Tide Farms. I tried to grow mushrooms, I tried to do an oyster farm, and ultimately I landed on this. This allows me to go out there and sell to the chefs and really enhance those relationships, talk to them about their pain points, what's difficult for them to get, what is our cuisine and what is our food and bev scene calling for that we don't have that I can help bring to Charleston. So it's really just fun to have that relationship to these rock star chefs that I idolize so much and be able to bring them a nice local product that they're proud of, they can stand behind as well. Yeah, sometimes you do need a jacket in here. We are running about 70, 75 degrees at all times. Right now, it's nighttime in the farm, so there's no grow lights or anything going on. When the grow cycle actually turns on, we're doing about 16-hour grow cycles. We're using red and blue lights. What that's going to do is red's going to promote foliage growth and blue is going to promote root growth. I'm the salesman, not the farmer. That's why I have an automatic system. Then we run the water cycle for 5 minutes for every 40 minutes. So every 40 minutes it turns on, runs for 5 minutes, and we keep that going for 18 hours a day. That starts at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and runs until like 8 a.m. in the morning. Again, what that's going to do is optimize our growing schedule to really push these plants to grow as quickly as they can without sacrificing really anything. We only use about 5 gallons of water a day. You can see the black line right there is the return line. Since we do have this cushy, comfy 70-degree weather inside here, we do have a closed loop system, so it's going to actually shoot up the lines, come down, trickle through these plants and these panels you see on the wall, and then return back. We turn the whole tank over about once a month, but again, we're producing more water than we use a day right now, for sure. Perfect split in two. So really where I see the point where kind of this type of grow system in operation becomes important to us and kind of become part of our food system is we can kind of decentralize where we're growing our leafy greens. If you look at it right now as a whole, where 80 to 90% of our leafy greens are all in Arizona and California, and we've already seen when we have a problem with that, whenever there's a disease or over monocropping and using the same thing kind of tears up the soil for those same nutrients, what we can do is alleviate some of that stress by kind of having these systems in operations throughout the country. And what that does is going to break down and really put less 18-wheelers on the road, and it's going to get you your produce quicker. So all of the produce is going to lose about 50 to 60% of its water value or its water content in transit. Really what that translates for us is going to be its nutritional value and the taste that it's offering. So it's really going to taste a lot less. So the old saying, an apple a day keeps a doctor away. Now you got to have 2 apples because your nutrients are going to be so much less, and it's the density of the nutrients is so much less than before. So with that and having these kind of throughout the region or throughout the country, you'll be able to have more nutrient dense product, better tasting product, longer lasting product, and then again it's going to kind of break down of having so much transit and 18-wheelers and things on the road, which can break down on the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, all of those things that and issues that we're trying to address as well. This is going to be our micros and shoots container farm. It's going to be right next door to our other chef's cut. As you can see right here, here's the amount of seed that we'll use weekly. So we're doing about 100 trays of micros a week right now, and that's just really going to call for a lot of organization and attention to detail. So you see everything here. We've got it already portioned out with our lovely chef-friendly containers we have there. We get everything from Johnny's, making sure that you have good organic seed and seed sources is by far the most important thing you can do as a farmer of any kind. You'll have a lot of problems and you won't know what it is and what's going wrong, and it's not your system, it's not you, it's the seed. So having a very important source and a very good source is paramount more than anything else. As you can see though, everything on the wall, nothing is automated in here. This is all hand watered. These are 10 by 20 trays. You'll see just different levels of growth coming down. So the life cycle of a micro is everything is going to be planted in a 10 by 20 tray. It's going to go up here and be stacked with a weight on top of it for about 3 days, depending on what variety it is. From there, we take the weight off of it and we put it into our blackout shelves. So what the blackout shelf is going to do is kind of represent the plant being underground, and it's really going to sprout up for that sunlight. With no sunlight, it's obviously just going to keep going up. And then once it has about 1 or 2 days in here, we take it out and we pop it on our shelves on our left and our right, and that's when we hit it with the light. Same light cycles, 18-hour days in here. We just use white lights as we don't have the fancy red and blue ones there next door. And from here, we try and keep varieties of this stuff pretty easy for what chefs asks for. And then also kind of, finding 1 or 2 odd ones that people might not have heard of. We've got a cool one down here. It's fava bean. It's a really neat one that chefs kind of haven't heard with and like to play with. Fava bean just kind of looks like a pea shoot, but just like a different, larger leaf there. We have different kinds of peas. So we have pea shoots, or we call them pea stalks. And then we also have the pea tendrils. So if you're looking for the real short swirls and twirls, we have that as well. So really what we're doing with this operation and kind of our mission behind all of this is just listening to the chef as to what they want and what that dish or menu calls for, and helping them facilitate and grow that for them. A lot of these things are difficult to get year round or during the season that they want it. So with these containers, you know, seasons, never heard of her. We can really grow things all year round and supply that to them whenever they need it.